Big news out of Montreal, as the team announced that head coach Claude Julien and associate coach Kirk Muller have been relieved of their duties behind the Habs bench. This comes after another disappointing defeat at the hands of the Ottawa Senators, and the team losing 6 of their last 8 games in a shortened season. Hey everyone, it's Billy from Puck Rivals here, and as some of you may know, I'm a big Habs fan. In this video, I will give my thoughts on the situation, as well as break down Claude Julien's second tenure as the Canadiens bench boss. Let's dive right in. Julien was hired back in February of 2017, on Valentine's Day to be exact. He had a pretty solid record that year, taking over for Michel Therrien, ultimately making the playoffs. After that, there were a ton of ups and downs, from finishing 28th the next year in 2018, and then just barely missing the playoffs in 2019, to making the playoffs last year, but that was strictly due to the pandemic. This year, obviously the team started hot, but cooled off considerably. If you put all of these years together, the team had a collective 129, 113, and 35 record, which equates to a .529 point percentage, which is good for 22nd in the NHL during that span. This led them to 2 playoff appearances with a 7-9 record in those playoff appearances. It's also worth noting that since Julien's hiring, the Habs have endured 4 5-game losing streaks, 1 6-game losing streak, 1 7-game losing streak, and 2 8-game losing streaks, all in about 5 years. As for winning streaks, well, they've had just 3 winning streaks of 4 or more games. What about Kirk Muller? Why was he also fired? Well, I'm pretty sure it's quite simple. The power play. All Habs fans like me know just how bad our man advantage has been for years now. It was Muller's job to run it, and it just never really worked out. During the second Julien era, Montreal's power play was ranked 26th in the NHL, and to make things even worse, the penalty kill was ranked 29th. Special teams desperately needed a shakeup, and that's why Muller ultimately was also let go. Now for my opinion on the matter. I think it was time for change, and I think Bergevin made the changes just in time. I don't think Julien really adjusted his style of play to anything he faced. He never really made lineup changes when needed, and scratched players that weren't even the problem. It seemed to me he relied too much on certain veterans, and was reluctant to give someone like Kotkaniemi, a 3rd overall pick, a chance to play in the top 6 or even in overtime. His system generated a lot of shots in possession, yes, but they weren't really quality shots, just quantity, mostly from the perimeter or from the point. In addition to all of this, I think it just got to a point where he lost the room and was playing not to lose and kind of lost direction. Now, I have nothing against Claude, and I don't think he's a bad coach, but it was time for change, no question about it. I wish Claude the best. He's a great man off the ice and deserves another chance with another team in the NHL. Who's replacing Claude Julien? Dominique Ducharme was appointed interim head coach and will see out the rest of the season behind the bench. Now, I can't say I know too much about his coaching methods, but what I do know is that he typically plays up-tempo, aggressive, attacking hockey, and seems to fit the mold of a modern-day coach. Much different from Julien, and it'll take time to adjust, but I think it will be a breath of fresh air for fans and the players. I'm also under the impression that he will give more opportunity to the younger players, given that he was hired out of junior and coached Team Canada at the World Juniors. He also happened to coach Drouin in Halifax, so that could potentially be interesting. Ducharme led his teams to the playoffs 6 out of 7 times in the QMJHL. As for Alex Burrows being added to the coaching staff, I also can't say I know much about him from a coaching perspective, but I've heard he ran a pretty solid power play in Laval, and I'm hoping that can translate in the NHL. I think that pretty much explains the entire situation and my thoughts on the matter. I'm excited to see how we do under Ducharme, although it will take some time for the players to adjust to a new system. Habs fans, let me know in the comments what you think of the coaching change and how it may affect the team going forward. If you enjoyed this video and love hockey like us, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. This has been Billy from Puck Rivals, and I'll see you next time.